On becoming Lord Chancellor, I swore an oath to uphold and defend the rule of law. I did so on my holy book, which is not something that I do lightly, and I did so with my parents present as well. They are first-generation immigrants who came to this country because they knew it was a place where the law rules and not the mob. The rule of law is the foundation of our democracy. It's the guarantor of our security and the wellspring of our prosperity, and it cannot be taken for granted. It is a living thing, and that means that we all have a responsibility to keep it alive. And I wanted to make a short opening statement today because I must admit some concern on that front. In a vibrant democracy, everything must be up for debate and challenge, and that extends to questions of law as well, of course. It also extends to judicial decisions, criticism of which, as Lord Reid of the Supreme Court noted in a recent speech, is an aspect of judicial accountability. However, there is a line that must be drawn, and it is one thing to criticise a decision, but it is another thing entirely to bring a judge's integrity into question. On taking office, judges swear to apply the law without fear or favour. When they enter a courtroom, they leave their personal views at the door. To suggest otherwise, as some have in recent days, is to undermine the public confidence on which the justice system depends and erode the rule of law in this country. Attacks on judges also have a very human consequence, risking the security of the public servants that we rely upon to guarantee our safety. And I've been appalled by some of the language used in relation to our judges, particularly in recent days, and the disclosure of personal information that places them at risk, including, unfortunately, by those who seek high office and who should, frankly, know better. There is clearly an issue with whether the extent to which our jurisprudence on the interpretation of our obligations under Article 8 is defeating what would be a migration policy that can command wide public confidence and fulfills our broader legal obligations as well. I think it's perfectly legitimate to sort of question the extent of it. I think it certainly is a problem. In fact, that is certainly the view of the Home Office. And also, interestingly, if you talk to colleagues across Europe, there is a view that Britain is maybe more at the maximalist end of the spectrum when it comes to interpreting how we might comply with our international obligations, and you don't have to be at the maximalist end of the spectrum in order to be in compliance. And again, these are matters of debate as well, but where you draw the line of what you have to do to actually be compliant is drawn differently by different member states across the Council of Europe, and I think it's perfectly fine for us to question whether we have drawn the line in the right place, and the work that the Home Secretary is doing has both fresh guidance, secondary legislation or primary legislation all on the table as potential options. But as I say, the Home Office have done their immigration white paper where this work was a part of that, and they will be saying more a little later in the autumn about progress on that front. I mean, I believe the answer to that is yes, but that is the political test that we have set ourselves as a government, and others can judge for themselves in due course. What I would say is, this really goes to the heart of the argument I was making at the Council of Europe. We start as a government from a position of believing in this convention and wanting to defend the independence of the court and the judiciary that sit in that court. So we're not wanting to play, as you might say, populist politics with it. We go in with from a position of believers in what the convention is trying to achieve. And if people who want, who support this instrument and who want it to work can't have this debate in a sensible way, then, I mean, honestly, there's no hope really at all. Well, yes, if you withdraw, you're in a club that currently has 2 members, and then we would be a third. We're not. The position of our government is the direct opposite of that. Good. Yes, there are obviously, it's a matter of political debate, rather intense political debate at the moment.